Now, clinical manifestation. How do you classify stroke? It could be a mild stroke or a TIA, which resolves within 24 hours, moderate stroke, or a severe stroke. Now, TIA is deficits which resolve within 24 hours, but usually last less than 1 hour without evidence of infarction on neuroimaging. So, a patient may come to you, present to you with symptoms of stroke, but you get an imaging done, there is nothing, and within an hour or so he recovers. So, that is a TIA. Or alert patients with mild pure motor weakness, there is no sensory loss, or there is just pure sensory loss, or there is just slight slurred intelligible speech, or vertigo with incoordination. That is, patient may have some gait disturbances, clumsy hand, or he may have just alone some visual field defects. Moderate stroke includes awake patient who has significant motor or sensory, language or visual deficit, or he may be disoriented, drowsy, but with purposeful response to the painful stimuli. So if you try to pinch him, he will try to shrug your hand away from him. Severe stroke includes patients who are comatose, there is no purposeful response, who have decorticate or decerebrate posturing to painful stimulus, or a patient who is in deep coma with no response to any painful stimulus. Next. So how do you manage a patient if he comes to the emergency department? You have to take the history in detail, time of onset, because it's very important, physical examination, which include ABC, that is airway, breathing, circulation. You have to assess the level of consciousness, his mental status, NIHSS score or GCS or modified Rankin scale. We'll discuss them in detail in further slides. So we already know about this anatomic territory, the principal arteries, which are the anterior, middle, and the posterior cerebral arteries, the internal carotid, basilar, vertebral, and anterior spinal arteries, which form the circle of Willis, and there are multiple smaller arteries as well. Next. Now, most common is the MCA, which is middle cerebral artery. It causes the most common stroke syndrome. So when middle cerebral artery is blocked, there will be contralateral motor deficit because these fibers decussate. So there will be the side on which the stroke has occurred in the brain. The opposite side, arm, face, and legs will be involved. So contralateral weakness of face, arm, and hand will be more than of the legs, while contralateral sensory loss will be there on the same areas. There will be visual field cut because of the damage to the optic radiations. Next. Now because middle cerebral artery is supplies the major area of the brain, there may be aphasia, most likely with left hemisphere damage. There will be language disturbances. If Broca's area is involved, then the production of the language will be impaired. If Wernicke's area is involved, then there will be difficulty in comprehension of the language. There will be impaired spatial perception, more in the right hemisphere damage. There will be spatial neglect, constitutional apraxia, and topographoagonesia. Next. When anterior cerebral artery is involved, then motor disturbance will be more pronounced in the contralateral distal leg, not in the proximal leg, but in the distal leg. There will be urinary incontinence, speech disturbance, which will be more of motor type, apraxia of the left arm if anterior corpus callosum is affected. So depending on which area of the body is involved, you can diagnose clinically which area of the brain is involved. Now, if both anterior cerebral artery areas are involved, then it may cause apathy, motor inertia, and muteness. Next. Now, coming to PCA, which is posterior cerebral artery, it will mostly cause visual disturbances. So, it will cause contralateral homonymous hemianopia, in which central vision will be spared. If there is left hemisphere involvement, then lesions will be alexia. If there is bilateral lesions, then there will be cortical blindness. So patients are unaware that they cannot see, which is also known as Anton's syndrome. Memory impairment will be there only if temporal lobe is affected. Next. Now, if there is proximal occlusion, then there will be contralateral hemisensory loss. The spontaneous pain and dysthesis will be there if thalamus is affected. Contralateral severe proximal chorea, which is or hemibellismus, will be there. Next. Now this is the GCS, which is most commonly uh, followed by all the hospitals. It is the Glasgow Coma scale, which has 3 components. One is eye opening, best motor response, and best verbal response. Eye opening has 4 score maximum. Best is motor response is 6, verbal is 5. So the best score total is 15 and minimum score is 3. Next. Now coming to the NIHSS scale, which includes level of consciousness, which will the parameters will be from this numbering will be from 0 to 3. Loss of consciousness questions will be from 0 to 2. Commands 0 to 2. Next. Best gaze 0 to 2. Visual 0 to 3. Facial palsy 0 to 1. And motor power from 0 to 5. Next. Limb ataxia, sensory, best language, dysarthria, extinction, and attention are also the components of this score. It's a very cumbersome and a very detailed score, which is usually done when the patient is in ED. Next. Modified Bracken scale. The score varies from 0 to 5. With 0, there is no symptoms. If there is severe disability, it carries the maximum of 5 score.